Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
So John Fury, he says that Deontay Wilder is mentally destroyed and doesn't have a prayer against Tyson Fury in the third fight. Now, this is part of a podcast that Steve Bunce was hosting along with Tyson Fury and John Fury, where they're talking about the Wilder fight and the potential for the third one. Now, Fury, he says that John Fury says that Tyson is being too modest when he's talking about Wilder, but he's going to tell her how it is. He's nothing. He couldn't even lace the boots of Tyson Fury. And especially after the beating that he took in the rematch, it's going to be an even worse one in the third fight. Now, I think I could probably disagree a little bit about that one because, let's be honest, Wilder can't do any worse than what he done in the second fight. So there's going to be an improvement for the third fight, isn't there? I mean, it has to be. But is Deontay Wilder mentally destroyed? Maybe, that's for sure. And I think one of the reasons why I say that, and it's totally different to when Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz Jr. A lot of people saying how Anthony Joshua was mentally destroyed, and he proved that he wasn't. But the thing is that Anthony Joshua, he was winning rounds in that fight. He won the first 2 rounds against Andy Ruiz Jr. He dropped Andy Ruiz Jr. in the third round. Then he went in when he thought Ruiz was cooked, got clipped. The domino effect kind of happened. But with Deontay Wilder, he was on the back foot from round 1 and got beat up from round 1. And he just couldn't recover. And since then, while Wilder, he hasn't even come out and give any kind of explanation as to what happened, he's leaving his fans to it, making all kinds of excuses. So for me, Wilder is condoning and agreeing with what a lot of these people are saying. These excuses, Glovegate, spiked water, and all this kind of stuff. So is he mentally destroyed? There's a very good chance that he could be because of what happened. In the build-up to this one, it was Wilder who said that I want to put Tyson Fury as a pop quiz question for Black History Month. And then that happened. With the excuses that are coming out, that's embarrassing. We've seen Tyson Fury mentally destroy Wilder in press conferences. We've seen him fall to pieces in press conferences. So now he's taken the beating. Can he come back? Well, I mean, with Wilder, he's always going to have that puncher's chance. And when was the last time that you actually seen Deontay Wilder win a round outside of knocking his opponent out or down? You don't. Wilder doesn't outbox anybody. Wilder doesn't win rounds. So he's always going to have that puncher's chance, that's for sure. Can he do a complete overhaul like what Anthony Joshua done? But Anthony Joshua, we knew he could do that because he showed he could do that when he fought Joseph Parker. He showed he could do that when he was an amateur. So he's always got that in reserve. Wilder, while he does have, was only 8 fights less than what Anthony Joshua had as an amateur, he's still going to have some of that amateur pedigree in him, where it's staying behind the jab, hit, not get hit. He's going to have that, but he's been so used to not using it, can he bring it out of himself? But even if he can, if he tries to outbox Fury, it's just not going to be good, is it? It is not going to be good. I mean, for me, I heavily favour Tyson Fury in the third fight. I think Tyson Fury is, well, if Fury done to Wilder and beat Wilder in the first fight, which he did, but of course he got screwed to a draw. If he can do that when he's all flabby and out of shape and his timing's off and this, that and the other, if he can go 12 rounds with Deontay Wilder, then he was always going to beat Wilder in the second fight. And in the third fight, Tyson's going to get better. And as John Fury said, Wilder isn't going to get any better. But hopefully that Tyson Fury, he stays switched on for the third fight. Does he really want it? Probably not. I think if we're going to be brutally honest about it, he's probably bored of him now. He knows he's better than him in every department. So, but Fury, where John Fury's saying that Tyson has been a bit modest, Tyson has to be modest because he has to sell the third fight. That third fight financially is in a whole world of trouble. People don't really want to see it anyway. We don't need to see it. We know who the better man is. And the fact that coming out of this whole pandemic, there's not going to be too much money that there was before this whole pandemic. So again, Tyson, he's going to have to build up Wilder. I know, and yes, I have seen his top 5 where he puts himself number 1 and Wilder number 2. Of course, he's going to say that. Had he not fought Wilder and fought Joshua, and beat Joshua, he'd say that Joshua was number 2. That's the standard. So I don't read too much into his top 5. But either way, Fury, he has to say these kind of things to build up the fight. Even though quite a few times before he says that Wilder is probably the worst champion that there ever has been. He's got a very, very padded record. He hasn't beaten anybody. He loses every single round. Outside of that punch, what else can he do? There's nothing that he can do. So Tyson, he does need to be switched on. If he switches off, that is when he's going to take a loss. And Fury, I know a lot of Fury fans out there seem to think that Fury's invincible. No, every man is beatable. You hit them on the button, they're going to go. Every fighter has an off night. He was having an off night against Otto Wallin. If Otto Wallin can do that to Fury, there's plenty of other fighters out there who can do that also. But again, a lot of this depends on Fury, how he turns up. Is he going to overlook his opponent? If he overlooks Wilder too much, he could be in trouble. But Wilder, we've shown some what appears to be mental instabilities in the past and press conferences and what have you. And of course, during the fight where he had almost like a mental breakdown to the point where he had quit in his eyes from round number 3. Eventually, the towel came in. His team threw in the towel, so Team Wilder quit. That's going to have an effect on you. It may motivate him. It may make him more focused. But is he going to make any bearing on the third fight? Unlikely. As I said, I don't think that Wilder can do any worse. So in the third fight, he's going to have a bit more success than what he did in the second fight. But that second fight is always going to be there. It's always going to be there in his mind. So anyway, drop your thoughts below about it. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all in the next video.